When we last left Buck, he had just accomplished a tremendous feat of strength. He had pulled a 1,000-pound sled 100 yards, and in doing so, won John Thornton $1,000 in gold dust. $1,000 in 1903 is equivalent to just about $29,443 in today's money, so these homies were flush with cash. Afterwards, John and Buck go even further off the grid and live their lives harmoniously in a gold-rich valley, panning for gold and hunting casually as the days go by. One night, Buck is awoken by a howling in the surrounding woods. He investigates and finds a timber wolf just outside of camp, and as he approaches, the wolf becomes afraid. Buck assures him that he means no harm, and the wolf warms up to him. The timber wolf tries to get Buck to follow him deeper into the woods, but Buck refuses to do so and returns to his master's side in camp. Thornton and Buck do a tremendous amount of bonding at this time. Thornton is the only person who has shown Buck true love and affection, not just using him for his strength and size. Buck recognizes this and spends almost every waking moment with John Thornton. When he's not with Thornton, he is feeling his more animalistic urges. He begins to hunt, catch fish, takes down a bear, and even kills a bull moose. One night, when he comes back to camp, Buck sees blood on the snow and notices the other sled dogs dying on the ground. In a rush, he makes his way through the camp, discovering more corpses, many of which are riddled with arrows. Buck continues his investigation and stumbles upon a group of Yeehat Indians celebrating their victory over the small camp. Enraged, Buck attacks the natives, ripping their throats with his fangs until those remaining flee for their lives. In a fury, Buck rushes to Thornton's body only to find him stone dead. The only man who ever truly loved Buck, who treated him as more than just a common beast, the only man that Buck would give his own life for, was suddenly dead. We'll pick up in Chapter 7, when Buck has his last remaining ties to civilization severed, and he answers the call of the wild. Chapter 7. All day Buck brooded by the pool or roamed restlessly about the camp. Death, as a cessation of movement, as a passing out and away from the lives of the living he knew, and he knew John Thornton was dead. It left a great void in him, somewhat akin to hunger, but a void which ached and which food could not fill. Night came on, and a full moon rose high over the tree, lighting the land till it lay bathed in a ghostly day. From far away drifted a faint, sharp yelp, followed by a chorus of similar yelps. As the moments passed, the yelps grew closer and louder. It was the call, sounding more luring and compelling than ever before, and as never before, he was ready to obey. Into the clearing where the moonlight streamed, the wolf pack powered in a silvery flood, and in the center of the clearing stood Buck, motionless as a statue, waiting their coming. One wolf advanced cautiously, in a friendly manner, and they touched noses. Then an old wolf came forward. Buck writhed his lips into the preliminary of a snarl, but sniffed noses with him. The old wolf sat down, pointed his nose at the moon, and broke out the long wolf howl. The other sat down and howled. And now the call came to Buck in unmistakable accents. He, too, sat down and howled. And here may well end the story of Buck. The Yeehats tell of a ghost dog that runs at the head of the pack. They are afraid of this ghost dog, for it has a cunning greater than any, stealing from their camps in fierce winters, robbing their traps, and defying their bravest hunters.